There are a couple of bills that are really important that you should be aware of. I don't know if you know that Texas Eagle Forum has been attending UN conferences since 1995, and we have really followed closely the climate change or global warming issue, and that trickles down into your states in legislation. And we've been to at least 11 UN meetings, major conferences on global warming. This is a bad bill, House Bill 2078 by Rafael Anchia. And this was given a hearing yesterday, and it was left pending in House International Trade and Intergovernmental Affairs. And this bill should not get out of committee. Kathy Adams, our state president, said this is probably the most or the worst bill filed this session because its true target is Texas' #1 industry, oil and gas. This bill should not get out of committee. This would create a new global climate change commission to, quote, create a quote, comprehensive inventory and forecast of greenhouse gas emissions from 2000 to 2030, end quote. Another bill by Anchia was held in that same committee yesterday, House Bill 2080. That was left pending, and this would create and implement a greenhouse gas emissions reduction plan. Remember, when you breathe out, you're breathing out carbon dioxide. It helps plants, it helps trees grow. The planet needs it. The United Nations and Mr. Anchia want to put a cap on that. You know, we can breathe in, but we can't breathe out. We need carbon dioxide. These are very, very bad bills. A third bill by Representative Anchia, House Bill 2571, was also left pending in the same committee yesterday. This further embraces the hoax of man-made climate change. What they're saying is that human activity is causing global warming. That's what the UN is saying, and that's what these bills are saying, that we have to reduce our CO2 and other greenhouse gas emissions. This last bill by Anchia, House Bill 2571, which I just said, further embraces the hoax of man-made climate change by requiring the Texas state climatologists to forecast a number of resources for up to 50 years into the future, which is impossible to take into account scientific advances. These three bills would impose the United Nations radical environmental agenda on Texas. We don't want those bills to get out of committee. American law for American courts is still sitting in the calendars committee. That is House Bill 562 by Representative Jeff Leach. And this would protect Texas courts from all foreign laws. So please ask them to let this bill out of committee for a floor vote. There is a bill that's being heard right now. Pat Carlson, my colleague who often comes to these meetings, is our National Eagle Forum Environment Chair. She is the go-to person on the environment for Eagle Forum. And they have a bill by Senator Bob Hall today, Senate Bill 1398, and it is in the Senate Natural Resources and Economic Development Committee. And we support this bill, and we would like this bill to be voted out of committee today after the hearing.
That's the EMP bill.
Thank you very much. There's a bill by Kent Parker, House Bill 2289, that will be heard in State Affairs tomorrow. And this will protect the power grid in Texas. As I say, that's in House State Affairs tomorrow. Yesterday, a bill was heard in Veterans Affairs and Military Installations. This is Senate Bill 1252 by Senator Bob Hall. And this will develop a border security interstate compact that will give Texas law enforcement the authority to do two things: achieve operational control of the border and enforce current integration laws. That's a great bill, and that was left pending in committee. That's all I have. Thank you very much. Excuse me.
Just on the greenhouse gases bill, we just had a conversation with our commissioners court last week based on an article that was in one of the local papers. And one of the big fallacies that people don't understand about ozone, that's just trivalent oxygen. The normal concentration of ozone in Earth's atmosphere is about 600 parts per billion. Concentration is over 100 parts per billion is local. It can irritate some people's noses a little bit. The government's trying to change the EPA lowered their current requirement of about 75 parts per billion. They want to drive it down to around 65 or so. And companies have been selling ozone generators for almost 80, 90 years that raise the ozone level up in confined areas to clear the air because it's a cleansing agent, up to 50 parts per billion. So just go look a little bit at the science. I mean, they're totally ignoring the reality of Earth's atmosphere to promote their agenda.
This is all about the redistribution of wealth. It's all about controlling human activity and controlling our lives.